I look upon them as art projects, actually. This is a very, very unique, really high quality piano, made in the 30s, just when Hitler was rattling sabers. I think that might have been the end of the company in that era. I got it from a woman in Ottawa who just wanted to get rid of it. It was in her family. I think she was Austrian, yeah, because it was an Austrian piano. And I'd never heard of the make. I've never seen of it since, but it was super high quality piano. My musical background is in two parts, I guess. Piano, of course, I've been a piano technician for 47 years. And I was playing music a little bit before that time, probably in my late teens. I made my living from pianos early on. But I continued my studies and I became a classical bass player. I play in the Ottawa Symphony, and I have since I came to Ottawa. I guess that was about 26 years ago, I think. And I got into rebuilding pianos probably 27 years ago, 28 years ago. I do it because I have deep respect for the Canadian piano industry, which went from about late 1800s until the last company, which was Sherlock Manning, was 1988. They closed their doors, and that was the last piano company in Canada. And the Canadian piano industry started going downhill in the early 1950s, I would say. Homes wanted smaller pianos. And the smaller they got, the lower the quality was. The longer the string, the more beautiful the tone of the piano. So that's why pianos need to be a certain size in order to go for it's for quality's purposes. So what I do with the soundboard is I shim the cracks and I refinish the board and make sure that anything in the bridge that is cracked gets to be repaired. And I also notch out these so there's room for the new strings to vibrate freely in the wood. And this gets attached, glued and screwed down to that point, and then the strings go through the pins in the bridge. When the plate is in and everything is ready, then the strings go on and they get attached to tuning pins that are made of steel that go into here. So this is how the pedal board gets put on. Set the piano on its back, and then when everything's in there, the plate, the strings, everything's done, then I put the pedal board on, fits in here. This is the plate out of that piano. So that's the final stage of cabinet dismantling, is when that's out. This is the action from the Heinzmann piano, the one with the plate against the wall, that has been dismantled to quite a degree. Everything but the hammers have been taken out. These are the dampers from the Heinzmann piano. Basically, the only parts that are still there are the good wooden parts, and of course I don't rebuild a piano unless the wood is still good. If the wood has been undermined, then it's not worth it. I put labels on the side to see which piano it's from, and then I number all the parts. They have to go back where they came from. Just about 6 weeks ago, I was working on an old piano in a farmhouse, and some kind of an animal had those cavities from this end to that end chock full of stuff. The family had 5 kids. It's a farm family. 5 kids, and so there was all kinds of little toys, things, little plastic pieces. It was all, this animal, I'd never seen anything like it in my life. I couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped. And they were laughing at me because they knew that I'd never seen this. I've been in the business almost 50, going on 50 years. I've seen lots of mice nests. It's a great place for mice because nothing can get at them. And it must have been an animal like that, maybe a small squirrel, possibly. Chock full, little bits of food, but mostly little toys, little plastic things from different kinds of games, tiddlywinks. So the 3 main parts are the whipping, the damper lever, and the hammer butts, which are, in this case, are still on the action rail. And with these, I replace all the hammers. I take them all off, check all those little hinge pins that I showed you before, replace the spring rest felts. Right. Down here, this note hasn't been used very much, so there's still a little bit of skin left on that. That's buckskin. Up here in the middle, you'll see that they're worn right through to the wood. So I replace all the buckskins on the back. They're called catchers. This is the rail, and it sits in the back. Let me turn this around. So the rail goes on like that, and the springs meet all those rest felts right in there. These are pedal rods that work from the bottom board. They sit in here. You'll see the pedals, and so when you play the pedal, the rod goes up, pushes against a lever, and operates. That's the soft pedal. When I started 47 years ago, most piano teachers were specifically asking for heavy actions for their students. Because if you can play a heavy action, you can play any action. When a piano is 100 years old or approaching it, it's always got a weak touch because of the fact of the way the metal works. The metal in the springs have weakened up over the years. A lot of older pianos either have a mellow tone or generally a little bit clanky tone, a little bit tinny tone. And when you put new strings and new hammers, you get more of a depth of tone. The enemy of a piano is the heat in the winter, which the heat isn't the enemy, but the dryness that's caused by the heat is what the enemy is. So dryness and excessive humidity are the 2 enemies of pianos. So any piano, brand new, 100 years old, whatever, is going to, a restored piano is going to need regular tuning. This is a letter of appreciation. This is the Sherlock Manning. Mr. Kilpatrick, I want to thank you again for the beautiful job you did on my piano. You would never know it was the same one. I'm sorry I can't put my finger on a picture of what it used to look like, but enclosed is the picture of the present look. My daughter is very grateful for the beautiful piece of furniture she was saying they are getting a lot of compliments on it. Thank you for the delivery of it, and I hope you were none the worse for doing it. Louise Shago, Green Valley, Ontario.